Yo, what's going on guys? My name is Vibro Plays and today I'm going to be showing you how to use Phoenix. I say me, more my friend Jay. I'm going to pass it on to Jay in a second to show you how to use Phoenix and all his abilities. He's played him the most out of all my friends, so he will know the best. Just quickly, friendly reminder, I stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday and Sunday on Twitch. I'll leave the link down in the description. That's all from me. Jay, take it away.
Hey guys, yes, as you said, my name is Jay. There's nothing really special about me in Valorant, except that I've probably had about 7 days worth of playtime already, and 5 of those days are probably going to be on Phoenix. So if you guys would like to sit back and relax and try and listen how to play him, I'm your man to do that. So first of all, what we're going to be talking about is Phoenix's role in Valorant teams. As you know, in Valorant it's a 5v5 game mode, 5 heroes in each team, and you can't use more than one hero on each side. And in my opinion, Phoenix is one of the best duelists that you can take. This is mainly because his ability is just to walk through anywhere and entry frag. It's just really impressive with the abilities that he has. There's not really better character, I think, or an agent, I think, that can make his role better. How you want to use Phoenix is that every time you want to get into a fight, that's where you want to be throwing your flashbangs, you want to be throwing all of your abilities, but your main goal is to get that first blood. As Phoenix, you can dictate how the fight is going to go. If I take the map Haven, for example, there are 3 bomb sites in that map, and you need clear communication between your team to realize how you're going to defend if we're talking about a Haven defense. So what you're going to do as Phoenix is that what I like to do is I like to hold C long. I can give good comms, give good damage, giving information to see if they're all there. I can safely see how many people are pushing if I use my flashbang and peek down C long. It's a good way to dictate on how we're going to defend, because we can have people pushing around from A to get the flank, we can have people pushing through B to make sure that they can't move through B mid, and you can really pinch the enemy into one spot. And that is all from one callout and one flashbang from Phoenix. So that is the way that you want to play him. You can use him for recon, or what you can do is that you can rush down C long like a madman, try and get as many kills as you can, and say bollocks to the rest of the team, you can do that, I've got 2 kills. I'm very fond of both, but in my opinion, using him for recon is much better. Okay, so first ability we're going to be talking about is the Blaze Wall, or otherwise his C ability. This is where you can block off many areas. So what you're going to do is that when you use his Blaze Wall, you press C and you have a flaming hand. Once you hold down the mouse button, you can throw it towards whichever direction you're looking at. However, if you hold down the mouse button and you turn your mouse, that means that you can telepath the way the wall goes. So this means that it's really good for blocking off multiple angles, like in bind baths. If you're going through there, you can bend it around the walls, so you can really get through baths without being noticed, seen, and kind of hit the enemy by surprise. So you want to be using the Blaze Wall to mainly try and cut off certain areas, but otherwise than that, it's not really helpful to you unless you're trying to pick up ultimate orbs, which are scattered around the map, which will give you a point towards your ultimate. It's a good way to slow down the enemy on attack. It's a very useful tool if you can use it correctly. I don't find myself using it in a crucial situation often. It's just what you want to make sure is that you don't put it to, like, you're not trying to put it across a wall where an enemy is located. Otherwise that means that they're going to have the jump on you, and unless they miss every shot, then they're probably going to headshot you. So you want to use this with, you definitely want to use this with some caution. Maybe at the beginning of the round to pick up an ultimate orb, but other than that, I'd use it to cut off angles when you plant a bomb, but it is not one of his best utilitable tools. Okay, so as we get on to the second ability here, we're going to talk about the Curveball, or Phoenix's Flashbang, which is his Q ability. Now they are really cheap. As we go, if I go back to the Blaze Wall costs 200 credits, and each Curveball, which you can have 2 of, costs 100. And on a first round, I really guarantee the combo you take is one of Phoenix's Curveballs and the Ghost. This is a very good first weapon to have, as well as being able to flash an enemy and get an easy headshot. But as well as that, Phoenix Curveballs can be used a lot more than that. So what you can do with Phoenix's Curveball, as you know, when you throw them, you can either press your right click or your left click to curve them in a certain direction. However, you cannot throw them straight. So what you want to do is that when you're using his Curveballs, you want to be behind a wall, facing the direction that you don't want to be flashed. So let's say on bind B site, down long, there's that arch. You want to be looking towards the ultimate orb, and you want to throw it across the corner. So this way you don't get flashed, and that means that you can peek down long and possibly get a peek. If you don't hit the first couple of shots, then cancel the peek and don't go for it again. Otherwise you will get headshotted because they have peek as an advantage. So another way you could use Phoenix's Curveball is to gain peek as advantage, as I've just said. If I use a bind B long, if Josh has edited this right, there should be a clip in the background of where I managed to throw a flashbang down B long, make the other team unpeek, and I can hold an angle and wait for them to fall into my line of sight, where I one-tapped them with the Guardian. It was just very easy kills because they came into my line of sight. It is a very useful way to use this flashbang. It's a very safe way to use this flashbang as long as you're coordinating with your team. There's a lot of ways that using a curveball can go wrong, because if you throw it and it starts flashing your teammates, then they're going to have a strong fucking word with you about how to use it. And that's going to piss you off because you feel like you already know how to use them, or you don't. That's why you're watching this video.
Fucking hell, you're bad. You cannot play Phoenix. Stop.
So with this flashbang, you want to make sure that you're communicating with your teammate. You're going to use them. You can use it to double peek stuff when you're going to swing around corners. This is when you want to be using it, but you have to make sure you communicate with your team. If I'm using Haven B, for example, Haven B window or main window, looking onto the B site, there might be another clip in the background where I flash around the corner. I try and bait my teammates out just for a laugh, and it is very useful to get them killed. Whereas if I'm trying to do it properly, I communicate with my team saying, I'm going to flashbang B window, peek with me in 3, 2, 1. It's your job to initiate that countdown. You will be throwing the flashbang around the corner through the window so you can gain peek's advantage on the B site, which is incredibly important, as well as having maybe someone watch double doors so nobody can come through and headshot your teammates. Again, he is a duelist, but he can be used very well for recon, so just bear that in mind. Okay, and his third ability is Hot Hands, or E. This is the ability that you already get and you gain after 2 kills after you've already used it. So what this ability can do is that you can finish off low enemies. So if you have tagged someone with normally a gun like the Spectre, and you know you've gotten them low, or the Stinger, one of the SMGs, you know you've gotten them low and they're sitting in the cubby, or they're sitting in a corner, it is an incredible tool to throw into that corner, so you'll finish them off, or you'll force them out to peek again when you have the favourable gunfight because you have more health than the enemy. Another way to use it is that when you use your E ability, Hot Hands, you're able to heal yourself for 45 HP. So you get into a fight, you might win, you might lose, so you back away. And if you do lose and you want to back away, let's use Bind B short for example. Let's say you peek that off the beginning with a flashbang, you don't quite get them, you're left on low health, you're going to want to use that Molotov or your Hot Hands even in the doorway, but it also inside the building, so you can start healing yourself but also block off their entrance without them taking damage, where you can start pre-firing. This is a really useful way to use him, and Phoenix's ability to heal himself is incredible, so if you have the chance, please do it. If I'm going back to C as well, his C ability is Blaze Ball. That also heals you for almost your entirety of your health, so if you're not finding any way to use his ball in a useful way, the best thing that you can do is just throw it down somewhere safe where it's not going to damage teammates, because pretty much all of your abilities can damage your teammates, and you're going to want to just get some health back and get ready for the next fight. And finally, his last ability before we get into some bonus tips for Phoenix himself is his ultimate. So his ultimate, in my opinion, is one of the best ultimates in the game. It only costs 6 kills, which is just incredible. And as I said, with your C ability, you can block off ultimate orbs really quickly, so those 6 kills can easily turn into just 4 if you get 2 ultimate orbs in 2 rounds. So a really good way to use this ultimate is to either gather recon, or to try and get as many frags as you can without being in serious danger. Now, if you're going to try and get as many frags as you can without being in serious danger, you have to make sure that when you use your ultimate, that you're in a completely safe position. If you're not in a completely safe position, then you leave a marker of where you first use your ultimate. Again, if Josh edited this correctly, there should be a clip in the back of when I hear a Phoenix ultimate uses ultimate, so I wait there with a knife and almost not kill him, but I do kill him, because I can see where he used it, and I was just waiting for him to return, because the ultimate only lasts for about 5, 6, 7 seconds. So when you do get back to your last location, and you've pushed forward, maybe you've gotten 2 kills, when you do get back, you'll be back on 100 HP. So if you're in a really tough situation, you're on 30 HP, you know there's 2 people around the corner and you don't want to peek that, you get to a safe location, you use your ultimate and you swing around the corner, and you might be able to get 1 or 2, you might be able to get both of them, but the main one is that you at least want to get one of them, so it makes it into a one-on-one fair fight. Then when you get back to your original position, when you use your ultimate, you're already full health and ready to get back into the fight. You want to be, as a duelist, you will constantly want to be in those fights. You want to constantly want to be initiating the fights. You want to be constantly just bringing fights. Yeah, that's your job as a duelist. You've just got to be completely just always in the action, either giving call-outs or dying. And if you are dying, then obviously you call out where you die. That is a really good way to use its ultimate. Or what you can do is that you can use it in a more useful way. So if we're talking about if we're attacking on Haven and we go down C long, you can go behind the corner, use your ultimate and push up C long. You can count how many people are going to be watching it, maybe with a sniper, with the marshal or the operator. So you're going to be pushing down there, and you can say, okay, 1 C watchtower, AWP, 1 C structure, marshal. That means that maybe your teammates aren't going to push C anymore, and you can go to A, where they might have someone in heaven, but that's more easily dealt with one of your other abilities, like your E ability. So his ultimate can be used in a multitude of ways, but other than that, you want to be using him to push through, just do as much damage as you can. Okay, so this is part of the video where I just give you some fun bonus tips with Phoenix, because obviously there's going to be some fun tactics that you can use with him. So first of all, when you want to use his flashbang, if you're feeling really aggressive and you're going to throw your flashbang around a corner, what you want to do is that you want to turn your camera a pretty much full 180 and then look back away where your flashbang detonated. But during that 180, you want to be looking away from your flashbang as it detonates. You may still get a slight flash, but it's going to be no longer than half a second where you're going to look back, and you're still going to have at least a second to pull off a couple of shots where they're not going to expect. So it is a really good way to use them aggressively. So you throw it around a corner, you can turn your mouse away and look back. It is a perfect way of using your curveball if you can pull it off correctly. Okay, so the second bonus tip I have for you, which will be the last one, is that when you press Q to pull out your flashbang, what you'll hear is that you'll hear Phoenix snapping his fingers. It's just a small snap of the fingers, and then you'll bring the fireball up in your hand ready to throw. The enemy team can hear that. If they're on the other side of the wall, they can hear you snap your fingers, and that might force them to push. So with this knowledge in mind, what you can do is that when you press your Q ability, what you can do is that you snap, and they're going to hear that. So they're going to try and push, but what you want to do is that unless you use the scroll wheel or you use the buttons, you want to instantly go back to your gun once the snap has happened, and like you might have a peak advantage there because they're trying to rush you, thinking that you're going to flashbang, which means you don't have your weapon out. This could force them to rush in and try and shoot you. You're already waiting with your gun, and hopefully get a headshot and get a pick. So those are the tips I have for you guys. I hope that really helps. My link is in the description for Twitch. Is there if you want to come in and say hello, leave a follow. I am really close to getting an affiliate, so if you'd like to do that, that would be awesome. I'll leave it back to you now, Josh, and thank you for watching, guys.
Okay guys, so that about wraps it up for this video. Thank you Jay for coming on to show everyone how to use Phoenix and give all those helpful tips. Like he said, his link to his Twitch will be down in the description. Also, another friendly reminder, I also stream every Monday, Wednesday and Sunday at 6 o'clock UK time. So be there for that. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please leave a like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell so you never miss a video. I'm going to be doing a lot more of these with a lot more different characters from Valorant. So hope to see you there. Peace.